beyond the fences, beneath CCTV, some of the most vulnerable people in our society call this home.
The Lancashire Health Trust has been told to take urgent action to improve its care.
Calderstones in Worley, the only hospital of its kind in the country, has been criticised by inspectors.
In 2014, Calderstones Hospital was criticised by health inspectors over its care of people with learning disabilities and autism. Patients were restrained face down, and wards were deemed dirty and unsafe. Those criticisms came a few years after this footage was filmed at another hospital, some 200 miles away near Bristol. That hospital was Winterbourne View.
You know that I don't let you get away with it.
Sir Stephen Bubb wrote the report into what went wrong at Winterbourne. The abuse it exposed prompted huge policy changes in how people with learning disabilities should be cared for.
It became increasingly clear that institutional care by its very nature was abusive.
And Calderstones, the last NHS learning disability hospital in the country, was told to close within 3 years, a deadline that's already been missed.
When I went to places like Calderstones, I realised that unless we had a radically different approach, we closed the institutions and we built facilities in the community, nothing would change.
But while plans to switch care from hospitals to the community were taking shape, at Calderstones, £7 million had just been spent on a new unit for people with personality disorders. In 2016, Merseycare took over and radically improved standards of care.
Welcome to Merseycare Worley.
This video is about families and carers.
They made their own videos about what life is like.
I feel more supported.
Calderstones is made up of a mixture of buildings with different degrees of security. For some, that means very little freedom because they've had dealings with the police. But not everyone is locked up. This is Michael.
Some days he just relaxes and just laughs at nothing, really.
He lives in a house on the edge of the hospital site, supported by a team of staff, and his parents say the care he receives is superb.
They have performed miracles for our son, and it's devastating that they were equated in any way with Winterbourne. It's a disgrace.
Michael's 31, but his mental capacity is the same as that of a toddler. He doesn't like the feeling of clothes next to his skin, but that doesn't mean he's distressed.
He gets to go swimming twice a week, horse riding. They take him out every day.
And his parents say the independence he enjoys in his current home wouldn't be possible without backup from the hospital next door.
We think he's absolutely chilled and he can just go in a flash of an eye, and he's very, very aggressive and very strong.
How fearful are you about the future for Michael?
We're terrified. The biggest fear is that it is closed. His service is intricately linked with the hospital. I can't explain how devastating it would be for him.
But for those people who do need a higher level of security to be safe, a new state-of-the-art medium secure hospital is being built in Maghull on Merseyside at a cost of £60 million. Work is well underway here in Maghull, and soon this site will offer 123 men and women who pose a risk to themselves or others a safe place to stay. Learning disability and mental health services will be integrated. People will have their own private rooms. There'll be a gym, therapy suites and a cafe. But some critics say what's on offer here is no different to the former Calderstone site, and that it's replacing one institution with another.
I think we need to keep a very close eye on that. I would be extremely concerned if we had closed Calderstones and simply reopened another institution. That would be absolutely wrong, and I think we need to be very vigilant.
All they're doing is taking our service and moving it to Merseyside. It's the same service.
And staff like GLEN, who wants the service to stay open, says patients will be the ones who suffer when it shuts.
I think it's disastrous for patient care. We have the staff, we have the expertise.
Do you think the Worley site, what was Calderstones, has become a scapegoat because of what happened at Winterbourne?
I think that the scandal that was Winterbourne View was disgusting. It's not something that anybody would want to see repeated. But that isn't our service. This to me feels like the government needed to do something to address the Winterbourne View inquiry, and we have been made the scapegoat of that position.
An NHS spokesperson told us,
Calderstones Hospital is closing and the safety of patients is our priority, so appropriate support needs to be in place for everyone to ensure a smooth transition to any new care package or facility. Since 2015, the NHS has reduced the number of people with a learning disability and autism staying in hospital by almost a fifth. And working closely with stakeholders, discussions about the timescales for the closure of Calderstones are ongoing.
In reality, though, until an alternative home is found for every single individual, the closure of Calderstones will continue to stall. And for people like Michael, that means a future full of uncertainty. Amy Welch, ITV News.